This is my second video of the day. I just did one on intraday money flow, and now I'm going to go to most active. But before I do that, I need to get my main menu up here and update intraday now, since I'm doing this manually to save computer resources. Then I'm going to go in and rebuild the industry groups again. Okay, so click on the designer, go into the industries, tools, rebuild indexes and groups. Now the semiconductors here are 2.27, and that's from about 45 minutes ago, I believe. So we'll see what the change is after these rebuild. I don't see any change. Well, there. Okay, yeah, it changed. 2.24. So down a little bit from where it was. Okay, now going from intraday money flow, and there are all kinds of categories in here. By the way, you can select whatever you like. Like here's the sector stocks with the percent industry up. Make sure you sort on roll combo. You can see the semiconductors are at the top of that list also. Geez, Intel's up 8.27%. Talk about a dog. Anyway, let's move on down here. There seems to be a lot of traders jumping in on these low-price stocks. And okay, I'm still in category trades right under my name, and I'm going to most active up all securities. But I'm still in the NASDAQ 100. So sorting on this, you can see that ARM is the most active of these stocks. And out of 100 stocks, only 50 of them appear. And looking across here, you can see that ARM crossed over 9 days ago on the 3.6 and had a pullback and yeah, let's see, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, the VPOC went positive. Now, I'm going to just quickly get my context chart here. And you can see that there was a pullback on here, and then it went positive. Or a pullback here, and it turned positive on this day right here. And now it's among the most active stocks today. You can also see there are several VPA flags here. This is no demand strength coming in, confirmation of that strength on this effort to rise bar. Shot up and pulled back a little bit. But now it looks like it wants to continue to move higher. Going to drop back down to straight old VPA chart. And you can see that Goog is the second most active. Now, let's take a look at what I am looking at here. First of all, on these most actives, I am using this VPA trend combo because my thinking here is that I want the strongest stocks based upon the fan and so on, the moving averages to come to the top. But a lot of these stocks, if you look over here, you can see that the three VPA trends are up, long, medium, and short, and the fan is up too. The fan is up on all of these. Now, when I go to the bottom of these 50 stocks, you can see that the fan is down and the indexes are down. So here's PepsiCo at the bottom. It's still an active stock today based upon my filter. But when I bring it up, look how weak this is. So this is why I like this combo for this, but you need to look at the other information in the warehouse. For example, on Google, it crossed over 2 days ago, and the VPOC was negative yesterday. So when I bring Google up and go to my contextual chart, you can see that the VPOC had turned negative here, and now it's positive today because it pulled back. Now here's a low volume test, and the stock is moving up today, but it did gap open higher, and you can see there's been some selling today, and it's looks like it's around 70% of its daily range. You can also see this is in a real trading range here. Let's bring a rectangle up here, and you can see that it's going to get past these two highs here, so it's not exactly a strong trending stock in the short term, although the fan is in place. Okay, I'm going to go back to this, and what I want to do is get out of the NASDAQ 100. I want a broader look at the market. I'm going to go to the S&P 1500. I'm sorted on raw combos. The VP trends up. Let me show you that combo again. This is something I just discovered after all these years. When I put the VPA trend percent in here at 50% and the fan at 50%, it will drive the strongest stocks based upon the VPA trends to the top of the list. Now, let's take a look at 3M. It crossed over 10 days ago. I think these crossovers are very valuable just to see instantly where a stock is. Now, here's a stock. Walmart has pulled back, but the trend is up. Here's the 200, the 100, the 50, and the 18, and the 3 cross the 6. Effort to rise, effort to rise. Slight pullback here. I'm going to put a crosshair on it, and I'm going to zoom in. But on that pullback, the VPOC went negative, but the next day it gapped down, traded down, and then closed at the high. What does that tell you? It tells you that the smart money or the big players are coming into that stock because this was a buying opportunity. This was a one-day shakeout. The trend was up. There was a one-day shakeout, but then buyers stepped right back in. Notice the 3 didn't cross down through the 6, and the prior 2 days were effort to rise. And also looking down here, I'll bring an arrow. This is volume pocket pivot, very strong. So we had a slight dip here on this shakeout, but when you see a strong candle a day afterwards, it's a pretty good indication that the buyers are stepping in. Now, low volume test, confirmation of that test, effort to rise, spinning top here, but very little movement, and it continues up. Now, this is the relative strength compared to the industry. The industry is the blue line. So 3M has been outperforming its industry. Let's just take a look at something here. By the way, that dividend yield is wrong. I saw that and I checked it. Hopefully that'll be corrected. But if you ever want to find the true dividend, just hit alternate in. If you go to bar chart, the annual dividend and yield is right here. It's 2.01%. Most of the dividends information is correct. For some reason, this is an anomaly. But it's always a good idea to check, especially when you see something that, I'm sorry, I was pointing at the PE. The dividend yield here says 15.1%. Okay, let's minimize this and go back to this. Now, the fan is up on all these, but what I like to do is I like to do a secondary sort on this and just type in the word. You can go to intraday or type in the word range, and intraday range is right here. So watch, these are going to stay the same, but watch this range be resorted here. So the ones, this is a primary combo. So all of these are in a strong uptrend, and then the stock that's trading at the highest range, intraday range for the day, moves to the top of the list, Boston Scientific. So let's take a look at Boston Scientific. You can see that the crossover happened clear back here, right here, and right here. The fan was up, of course, and then it moved up, and then there was a gap up, but it traded down a little bit, but notice it was well above the 3, so very strong. And then here was a low volume test. Buyers came back in after some quick profit taking, and this stock has continued to move up. So why is it at the top of the list? Because the fan's up, and as of yesterday, all of these other trends were up. It's just very helpful to know this. So let's look at Tapestry. This crossover 17 days ago, the VPOC 3 days ago, so that means there was a pullback on the VBOC, volume point of control. Let's look at it. You can see the slight pullback here, but the 3 and the 6 after that, let's see, it crossed over here after a slight pullback. So bulls came in to support it. Here is the pullback, but notice on the pullback that there was a low volume test. So it sold off, gap down in the morning, sold down to here, but by the end of the day, it was trading here. What does that tell us? Tells us that buyers came in to support the stock. I do like this support. I do like, I didn't mean support. I do like this trend up combo because it stacks them up here, the strong ones, and then I can see intraday which ones are holding up the best. Let's look at, let's look at Walmart. It hasn't been doing much lately, I don't believe. But here we go. Let's just start at the top. So the industry is a blue line. You can see it's been trading. It was outperforming here, and then it was underperforming, and it's flat. This line's flat now, which means it's been performing with the group. What do we have here? We have a low volume test with a confirmation today. And here's your fan. Well, the 18's up here in this mess. You can see that it pulled back. But now it's above the 50 and above the 100 and the 200, of course. When are the earnings? Earnings are due February 20th. Now everything's compressed because of these moving averages and so on. So what I like to do is I'm going to take control of this and drop down to Walmart, the number 3 chart here. I can get a much cleaner view of support and resistance in here. No moving averages, of course, but just by drawing a box around here, I can see that it's still consolidating. The positive thing is that there is a low volume test and a confirmation of that test, and notice it's trading at the top of its range. Also on this candle right here, notice where it opened. It actually gapped open from here to here, and then traded all the way down to here, and then traded all the way back up to here to close. So that means there was institutional support there. Now see, the volume was low. On this black bar, if the volume had been high, that would have been an indication that it was being sold. Now, I always keep the weekly chart over here. I haven't been talking about it because these videos go so quickly, but you can see how strong this stock has been. This is going back to November of 23, but it's been a great stock for the buy and hold investor. It's got a dividend yield of 0.9%, not much of a dividend stock, but anyway, it's been extremely powerful. Okay, now unfortunately I don't have time to go over all of these, but these are all pretty self-explanatory. Here's one with the relative strength has to be 90 and has to be trading at least 70% of its intraday range. These are large cap stocks, mid cap, small cap, micro cap, most active down, NASDAQ 100. This goes directly to the NASDAQ, even though I'm in the S&P 1500, or if I'm in all securities. Let's see if it changes. Okay, this is most active up, NASDAQ 100, 52 of them. Most active down, only 8, and you can see that these are all down. So you can get a quick read on the NASDAQ. One more thing before I finish. Let's just take a look at the filter. The intraday volume compared to the 20-day moving average is greater than 0, or the intraday moving average greater than 90 is greater than 0. So it's an either-or situation. Has to be positive, and it has to be a positive change, and you can see this is going directly to the NASDAQ. But all the filters, all the most active filters are like this. So what that does, and let's take a look right here at this one. You can see that APP, the 90-day intraday volume, the volume compared to the 90-day is less than 1, but compared to the 20. So it's either or. It's picking up on one or the other. Okay, I'm going to have to end this here. It's 18 minutes, and that's long enough. If you have any questions, just send me an email.